Hello everybody, my name is Walter Phillips and I will present to you the long anticipated second part of the sneak peek into the future, a tech demo of SpaceXpanse Multiverse. First of all, I'm sorry if I like this cleaning my throat from time to time because I caught some severe summer flu with cough, but it's healing now, so I'm able at last to do this second part of the stream. Okay, yes, let's start with a few words about the libspex, the SpaceXpanse library, programming library that interconnects SpaceXpanse blockchain with programs of your choice, the programs that you coded yourself. For different purposes. I have to say that the main purpose of the SpaceXpanse in the beginning was making of games, blockchain games. But in the last year, we decided to extend it and to start making other decentralized applications other than games. So this library is used for that purpose. Okay, let's dig a little deeper into this. Okay, as you may know, we have extensive documentation wiki, which is at our GitHub SpaceXpanse profile under documentation repository and in its wiki here. On the left is the main menu with a lot of links to different parts of our platform with tutorials and etc. But the main part is here, the step-by-step introduction into the basics of SpaceXpanse Multiverse. So I will not dig into the blockchain basics because this is a tech demo and it's focused on the developers, not the regular users. And we will skip this part. The next one is the SpaceXpanse daemon or node or wallet, as is it known, which is pretty straightforward. So we will skip it too, because if you are blockchain coin user, a wallet user, you will know what that means. The next step is so-called game state processor. So, as I said before, the main purpose of the platform was making of games. So in many occasions you will see using of the game word, but actually it we will mean game or other decentralized applications. And we are going to the third step, which is the relationship between the library libspec with the other parts of the platform. As you can see here, the first part is the SpaceXpanse rod blockchain daemon, which is the entrance to the blockchain. The next is the state processor, which contains the library libspex and some logic. In this case, game logic, but as I said before, it can be any decentralized applications logic, and it's the same. This logic is the same like in the smart contracts in the some other platforms. But here at SpaceXpanse Multiverse platform, you can use a programming language of your choice. In many cases, you can see we use C++, but you can use whatever you want. You have to just follow the logic described in the documentation. And the third part is the front end, which is the thing that user see and interact with. In the case, for example, in the game, this is the graphic interface that the user is seeing, but when he clicks or makes some move, this is sent to the state processor, follows some logic, and is sent to the blockchain, on vice versa. There's some here are some use cases that you can see and follow. And the next step is compiling the libspex library, which is mentioned here in these sub-steps. You can compile it under Ubuntu Linux, which is pretty straightforward, and if you know how to compile coin wallets, we will manage to do it. But now we'll focus our attention to compiling it under Windows, because many of the programmers and developers use Windows to make their programs. So it's very easy, because all you have to do is to download and install this tool, which is some version of Linux. It's a subsystem. It installs subsystem in your Windows operation system, and it's very easy to install. You must follow this first step, which updates the whole subsystem, and then just open the prompt and copy and paste this row. It's like as simple as this. it will start downloading and updating the necessary components for compiling. And you must hit enter at the first step here, and then hit yes here. It will start doing its job. I've already compiled it because it will take from hour and a half to up to 3 hours or more, depending on your computer system. So to save time, I will skip to the next step, which is using the libspex library with other programs. I will stop it now. Okay, and this is the directory tree. When everything is ready, this is the tool that are used for libspex, and this is the actual libspex directory. There's some executables that are made, and we will discuss them later. So this is about the updating libspex if there's a new version, but this is not important for now. Okay, let's move to the next part. Let's just talk a little bit about how the blockchain and decentralized applications pass the information, or in the case of games, make moves. To make it simple, we can use a chess example, and see how it will go. The actual moves are represented in the blockchain by so-called names, arbitrary names, and their values. And okay, just a second. The names in the blockchain. First of all, every block has a space reserved for names and their values, and they are, as you may know, the blocks are generated every 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds, everyone can change the value of their names. We'll dig into it a little bit later, but for now, you should know that the names can be up to 256 bytes long, and the values can be up to 2 kilobytes. They're divided by the slash sign. And for now, there's a standard which will be changed in the future, which states that if you are player or user, you must start with p/prefix. For example, p/James Holden is the name or alias for the player, and the second one is g/, which is short for game, and it's followed by game ID. I should say that everything is every exchange of information in the the names space is JSON, follows the JSON standard, and the moves are made like this. This is the actual move. Let me find some simple. Okay, simple example. Okay, let's see how it goes. For example, in chess, the first user sends the change of the namespace like this. This is the G4 game, this is the game, and this is the move. So you can fill it with your chess move from one field to another, and after 30 seconds it will be sent to all the nodes in the blockchain. I can show you how it will look here. This is the name. For example, this is the name, the user testo, and this is the value of this namespace. You can use the console to make and change names, like name register, name update, etc., etc. All the comments and their descriptions can be found under the RPC browser page at Rot Explorer website here, and there's a pretty extensive description of any command that you can use inside the console of your wallet, and there's some examples even. Maybe I will dig into this in some of the next streams, but for now this is enough, because we are focused on the slightly different thing, which is how to make and use libspex library. So we've already compiled it, and it's here in the directory, and we can proceed to the first and the simplest decentralized application, which is Hello World. In our case, we will use C++ for our example. Here it is. You can download the code for the Hello World application here, and you can compile it using the build script, which will give you hello.exe. Okay, there's some information how the program works, what is needed for it to work, how to how to start the SpaceXpanse rod daemon, to start the blockchain, and etc, etc, etc. This is the actual JSON script of what is passed to and from the blockchain. Okay, it's worth mentioning that in the SpaceXpanse Multiverse platform you can use memory or SQLite or these LMDB databases to store information on the user's computer. But in the future, at some point next year, we will be implementing the full-blown decentralized database, which will accompany these databases, but it's still far in the future, so it just worth mentioning it. Okay, how to start it, how to compile it, etc, etc, etc. Troubleshooting, and this is the needed configuration for the application to work. It's pretty easy, so I think it will be there will be no problem for you to start it and to make it work. Okay, it's worth mentioning that you can use regtest and testnet versions of the blockchain just to test how it will work. As you may know, if you are into the blockchain development, you may know that the regtest is just a blockchain without generating any blocks. So you can generate them in the console without waiting waiting for them to be generated. And the test net is the same like the mainnet, but it's used for the test purposes, and it follows the same exact rules that are coded into the mainnet. Okay. Okay, how to make a move in the Hello World. Actually, the Hello World is it's the simplest chat program that is implemented into the ROD blockchain. So, if you make a move, this is the same like when you say something in the chat program. So it looks like this. M is short for move, and this is the message, and the whole row. This is a row that follows the JSON standard. It looks like this. It's G for short for a game, which is registered before that by you into the blockchain using name register command. And this is the actual message which will be sent to the blockchain with the next block generation. It's worth mentioning that when you make a move, it's actually name update, and you will have to use name update command, which costs I think 1 No, not one rod. It's like, just a second. I have these transactions here. Small amount. Okay, you can see it here. How much it will cost. I'm sorry. Which with the time will make real demand for rod coins, because every move, every in every application made by every user of them in the blockchain will cost them some part of rod coins, and they will have to buy more to actually use these applications. Okay, let's start the daemon. You must follow these rules to start the daemon properly. It's here, this row. And as you can see, it started. Oops, sorry. Okay, it's here. And now we can start our Hello World application. To connect to the blockchain. I'm sorry. You have to do it in the directory of Hello World application. Unfortunately, my antivirus program prevented the start of it, so I will have to switch it off. Just a second. Okay. you can check if everything is okay and it's working, because the blockchain node has to be synced with the blockchain for everything to work. Just a moment. You have to be very careful with the path of the program, because otherwise it will not work. Oh, just a moment, I have to switch off this instance of the wallet and restart it, because they're messing with each other, I think. Okay, here it is. This is the most important part. Initial block download must be false, which means that the blockchain is synced. And now we can start our first decentralized application. And here it is. As you can see, I've already did some updates, which is the chat messages, you can say. And it's working like this. Now I can start, I think I can start the second instance of the wallet and use the manage names tab to update the name and make a move or say something in our simple chat. And just like this. Okay. It's worth mentioning that these namespace changes or moves are made through transactions, as you can see here. This is a transaction which contains the move that the user makes. and we have to wait till the block is generated and for the message to be shown. Okay, so it's that simple. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward and easy to use. Okay, let's say a few words about the other executables that are compiled with libspex library. The first one is a game, the simplest game that can be made. It's called Mover. There are all in this directory .libs with all needed libraries. I have to say that you have to install all dependencies by using this bat file, which is you can download it from the repository, our repository, because without it it will not work. It just copies the required DLLs from the main directory for the libraries. Okay. This is the mover, which is basically infinite field made of squares, like infinite chess table, and every player can make a move and move something like a virtual stone, for example, from one field to another. One second, there's an explanation here. Okay, into the mover directory in libspex repository here, with a simple explanation how it is working. Okay, the next executable is very useful. It's called non-fungible and can be used to make NFTs and to mint tokens into the ROT blockchain. This is the big thing, as you already know. If you know what NFTs are and tokens are, and etc., etc. There's a dedicated page for them, for this executable here in libspex repository under non-fungible directory, with some description how it is done, how you can mint NFTs and tokens. They are actually the same in the ROT blockchain. The only difference is if you how many you are minting, because if you are minting NFT, there will be only one token. But if you want to make it more, you can put whatever number you want, and it's working like this. As you already know, I told you before, this is the game, or this states that it's an application, and this is the name of the application, which is short for non-fungibles. And using moves, you can mint NFTs and tokens. This is the states for move. This is A for the name of the asset. This is N for the number of supply. If you are making NFT, this should be 1, and this is D for the any metadata you want. In the case of NFTs, this can be, for example, the hash of the your file from IPFC, which, if you know, is short for Interplanetary File System. I've already uploaded our logo, the SpaceXpanse logo, and this is the hash of it. And you can get it here and add it as data for when you mint NFT. And if you want to show it, you have to program logic that gets the image, or whatever it is. It can be whatever you want, like file, like PDF, for example. And with the programming, you can extract it from the IPC and show it in your front end for the users to see it. Okay, you can transfer these assets. They can be tokens or NFTs, and this is the row that makes it. T is short for transfer, A is the name of the asset, and it is the number of assets you can send, and R is the recipient. And it's very important to mention that you can send tokens, NFTs, and ROT coins to these arbitrary names. You can send, for example, any number of tokens, NFTs, or ROT coins just to P/, for this example, testo, without remembering and filling these long addresses which the other blockchains are using, which is very, very convenient. And it's one of the main features that our platform has. Okay, here you can burn the assets, like tokens on NFTs, if you want to disintegrate them. Okay, Let's see what's next. The next thing is the most important one, the one that many of us are waiting for, which is a game, a working command draw for the moment version of Battleships game, as maybe many of you know, and it's using this very effective implementation of site blockchain, which we called sidechain. This is, for example, if you know what the blockchain is, it's actually a chain of blocks, and when you start a side channel, it's actually a private blockchain between two or more users, and the state, the name change, the name update, it's it is only between the users. It's not uploaded into the blockchain until some logic is applied. For example, if you start to play the Battleships game, it opens a side chain between these two users, and they can start make moves. And when the game finishes, excuse me, and when the game finished, and when some of the players wins, only this state is uploaded back and is passed back to the main blockchain. And this game will be made in the next months, and it will have some front end graphic interface, and it will be the first usable blockchain game in our platform. And I have to say, it will be one of the few working blockchain games. So what was worth mentioning beside this? Okay, this is the mover. Okay. This is about the currencies, which is the same as tokens, creating and transferring tokens. Okay. There's one specific thing, and it's the atomic transactions and atomic trading, which is supported by the platform, and you can find it under the Rodcore wallet repository, but it has link from here. If you want to dig deeper into the atomic trading, there's a, a sophisticated platform in the making that will make easier for everybody that uses our platform to transfer ROT coins and to sell them for some NFTs and tokens, but that's not all. At some point in the future, next year, there will be gateway between our blockchain and any other blockchains that support EVM, like Ethereum and etc., which will make it even more usable for everybody to create and play and gain some profit from it. So I think that's all for now, and we'll see each other in the next stream. Stay healthy, it's very important, as I learned the hard way, even in the summer, and have a nice one.